Hello everybody, my name is Voidcrisp. I am the Community Manager for Interbellum. Today I am bringing a video that is a small little PvP video to kind of show on how PvP is working as so far and the combat. Right now we are using a mixture of mythics tables along with our own right now for our internalized testing, but I do want to go ahead and show you really quick some of the work that Cap has done for the helmet and shoulders, the belt, the chest, and the back piece that we have currently that were put into the database for his work on his side. I'll be adding some of mine here shortly, but as you can see here, we do actually have our affix system from Romasi's last video when we were both inside of it. As you can see here, each item kind of represents its affix on what type of armor that it actually gives, not the armor as in like the physical value, but what the stats are for that armor piece. As you can see here, this item here, like the Preserver here, has 28 wounds, 32 intelligence, 400 block, fortitude, and then resistances. But then if we go to another type of item here, you'll see that it's completely different from each other. So the benefit is that if you wanted to go pure glass cannon, you can go for certain stats that you wanted to. You can also have items that have utility, like 4 maximum action points. Some of them are going to have, let's see here. Actually, it looks like for shoulders and helmet might actually have a few of those. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the maximum AP points. And then if we go over to the belt, you'll start seeing that there's also accuracy, potency, health regen right here, 26 HP 4, 1 adrenaline per second, 1 AP per second. So each piece that you actually do happen to get is going to have different types of stat values associated to that piece, and then along that, all of them have their own affixes. So what we're going to do today is we are going to basically do a full PvP between the Black Orc. He has his little two-hander back there with his sword and board. He's having some fun over there. We got the Boyz, and then we have an Ironbreaker here that just fell over. He just got killed by the Black Orc right now, and then myself as the Ironbreaker, but I believe I'm going to go ahead and swap over to the Engineer here shortly. As you can see here, these are all of our abilities that we have for the Ironbreaker. I do have some of these testing ones here that we're kind of sorting through, so 16 pages, probably not going to see that ever again. We have our adrenaline systems here. I'm not going to showcase these as of right now because we still need some more testing with those, and as well as our tactic systems. And then what you'll notice is from the builder that we have a crap load of items that you can actually use as passives. We have all passives on our characters right now. So for that being said, I'm going to go ahead and gear up my engineer real quick, and then I am going to jump in with everybody else see here shortly. So this is going to be some gameplay for the engineer. One thing I do want to actually let you guys know is that with the class resource mechanics for the engineer uses kits, grenades, as well as bullets. There are abilities where you're going to be able to actually generate those while you're inside the fight. Some hard specializations don't require a turret, some of them will, but for at least this is some early testing and also early combat for you guys to be able to see that the engineer actually does use its resource mechanics like we have shown on the builder. We do actually want to update the resource graphics to let you know where specific resources are located, but also on top of that, as you can see that the engineer does really high bursty single target damage as the Path of Rifleman spec. So it's been a lot of fun playing this class, and I know that there's going to be a lot more other videos and specs and builds to be able to see later on down the future. So yeah, it feels really good so far right now. So pretty much what you're also looking inside of here is that the Black Orc is going into its clobber time. It's very close. You can see the resource mechanic, how it's getting close to 25. Once I actually do hit 25, you'll see that the clobbering time is going to start highlighting, and I'm going to be in a red meter. That means I'm going to go into my two-handed stance for 10 seconds, dishing out damage as much as possible. For the instance of this, I'm a bit tankier than what I should be, so that because we didn't have any healers inside this test, we wanted to make sure that I didn't die. And quite frankly, everybody else was dying except me and the other Black Orc, which was really nice. But yeah, this is going to be the overall gameplay that you would probably expect here. You do have snares, you do actually have basic attacks to regenerate your AP. You are going to have other abilities to be to greatly increase your overall team's survivability as well as its utility as well. But as we kind of go on down the road, you'll start seeing more gameplay mechanics, especially for group play, and then yeah. So this is the Boyz, and this is a hard specialization for the Butcher. This is just the basic model, just like with the rest of them that we're actually showing here. Pretty much it just comes down to having high amounts of crit chance, and then on top of that, being able to dish out as much damage in a low amount of time frame as possible. As you can see, I am not grouped up. However, I am trying to build a little bit more defensively whenever I can, but we do want to go ahead and actually just showcase some of the other abilities that we have here. The ones that you actually see that on the screen here are the same ones that we have on the builder for pretty much all the other characters that we're going to be showcasing here. So pretty much this is going to be some gameplay of the Ironbreaker for you guys, and it's just pretty much going to handle very defensively, especially if you either play solo or if you play with a group of people. And as we start progressing further along with testing phases, and we'll start being able to show a bit more about those kind of 6-man gameplays to work with. However, there's one thing I do want to show you guys is that there has been some questions about the Zerg busting abilities. Not all Zerg busting abilities are actually designed to do damage. They also do utility based, just like right now. So the Grip of Stone is a 150 point action point ability, and it is a channeled ability, so whenever you go into a Zerg, anybody within 30 feet around you gets slowed down by 90% of their movement speed for a few seconds. So that aspect of being able to have a tank that not only can do somewhat of the damage and actually keep the groups alive, but if you need to, you can actually go into a Zerg and actually stop them into their tracks and actually change the overall battlefield of the gameplay. So this is some of the gameplay that we do have for you guys, so I do appreciate you guys watching the video, and we will see you in the next one. You take care. Bye-bye.